Ladies and gents, welcome to Dungeon Discourse, the show about the show where I
when it broke, I just used my
randomly
phone.
unmute and hope to
Hi.
interrupt my friends while they have a really weird discussion so we can talk about that as well.
We're just talking about PCs.
That Dutch geek more, what an asshole.
What a dick, dude. What a guy, man. What a guy. How are y'all doing? First of all, before we get into this, I want to thank everyone for all the love you showed yesterday during the whole birthday subathon thing. Whether you watched, subbed, just followed, hosted, rated, whatever the fuck you did to support, I appreciate you guys. A little tired, but we're gonna talk about eating ass, dude. Yeah. I have a bowl of mints out for Soko when he gets here. So no, I don't.
That would be funny.
Really funny, like, hey, so
But today we're gonna just get into some nerdy D&D talk about the previous episode of Dungeon Select that I titled Ooleth because it makes sense.
Why not?
And we're gonna just have a discussion on the things that happened, the things that could have happened, the things that
We could have
prepared.
died.
Yes, you could have.
Two of us almost died.
I was fine. I took like 7 damage in that Ooleth fight overall.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but you did spend some time falling.
I mean, I didn't do anything else. I just...
Yeah, because not only the Ooleth fight happened, but you also, every one of you got confronted with a nightmare of some sorts, which like it started off really fucking intense, and then we had a little bit of a. I felt like there were no breaks on the train that last session. It was just first you had all that nightmare stuff, then you found Ryagel and that whole thing happened, and then you fought Ooleth, and it just. And it's fucking just a lot of shit happened, and
I'm glad we took the break when we did.
Man, I got called a lot of names. Can we talk about that? I got called.
I think a lot of people now are actually kind of worried. They're like, Dutch is too good at this. That like maybe Dutch has more of a sociopathic streak in him than any of us realized.
Like 75% of them were me. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I got called a sick fuck. I got called an evil genius. I got called. What else did I get called? I got called
sociopath.
I called you everything, mate.
Yeah, like especially Koiba. Like you, man. Woo. Welcome in, guys. Jonimus, thanks for the follow.
You know
Appreciate
what he didn't call you?
Fuck's sake.
My page still says that I'm 23. Hey man, I'll edit it after this. Smile. Carly, Natty, Up to Dude, Crazier, Andy. Welcome on in, guys. So we started off when you guys just entered the Demi Plane of Nightmares, and like
We told him, Luxby. We already told him. He's not listening to us, okay?
have mid-sound. God fucking damn it. I just wanna overall. I have you two here because last episode, like everybody had like some character development happen, so I had a really hard time picking like who do I want on. Laura was.
I'm not gonna lie.
No-brainer.
If you hadn't, I would have been a little bit of become a diva and been like, I demand a spot. A, just because I'm available for the first time in forever, so who knows when that's gonna happen again. But also B, I was like, we found my fucking kid, and I was telling Dutch I didn't think he was gonna pull that out for a long time, just because I never thought far in the future about it. To me it was the reason Kisaren like escaped prison and is out adventuring. Is to find her daughter, because she figured the last place she would be is in the city where she was from. So now it's like, obviously this is clearly not the case, but early on in the campaign, I was like, oh, if we find her too early, then I have no reason to keep going out in the world. I'm just gonna find her and go become happy mom. But obviously, it's more complicated than that. And
yeah, it's a little more complicated. And like next sesh, you guys are really gonna figure out.
Oh shit, spoilers for Natty and Jonimus. Why are you here if you didn't get that far?
All about her, you're gonna learn more about how Ryagel got to where she is and what happened to her and how she got raised in the place that she did get raised in eventually, and by who. But like the thing, like overall, like you two, like opinions about the sesh, like just everything.
Oh, it was so good. It was like I remember when the nightmares were going on, because like me and Matrim were like last to get to, so I was like just watching everyone else be emotionally traumatized, and I was like, oh shit. And like I think Nakul and Aberan seemed like the most intense to me, probably because they were first, so also it was like we just weren't. We were like, whoa, okay, we weren't ready today. But also their characters, I've realized as their nightmares were happening, I've thought the least about their like lives, and I just never even pictured them like, you know, with families, wives, like what happened pre-party, and it was like a slap in the face of every other character is just as like three-dimensional as you, Laura, you egotistical fuck. Like
that's definitely a thing that because that's why I made Aberan's and Nicole's dream that I picked a little more intense as opposed to the rest of you guys, because when it comes to backstory, I feel like Nicole and Aberan are the biggest like question marks. So I figured, hey, let's have a little fun there. I had 2 to 3 nightmares prepared for everybody. I had one for you, Laura, where you see like a scenario where Matrim turns out to double cross all of you, and turns out that he's still loyal to the cult. But I figured I'm not going to show that one because it's a lot less powerful because James wasn't there to play Matrim to really like RP that like response out. So I figured
I also feel like it would make me worried if I were in your shoes at putting, or like it seems like some of the party members are starting to slowly like become less wary of Matrim and maybe accept him more, and that would just maybe put that idea right back of, by the way, outsider, danger, like risk.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, then we could have had like a cool sequence where you and James had like a little moment, and because James wasn't able to be there, I was like,
yeah.
Fair.
And I kind of liked that
its power, I guess, you know. Like,
yeah, and I kind of liked that my nightmares were pretty quick and like we didn't brush over them, but they were, because like I said, there's a lot of going on for Kisaren in this arc, and I think it was really good to let some of the other characters have a lot more like focus for a minute and delve into them while still being a part of this arc, so I don't feel like guilty for like hogging all the
that's
attention.
The thing that I've been trying since the beginning, is that even if one of you guys is a little more on the like with Ectanis, her arc, I still want to keep your guys' arcs on like that, still on the fire, just on a little bit of a lower burn, but still there, like still present. And I think that that's something that I'm managing to do pretty okay so far, as whereas even if this is definitely I also really, this arc I intended to progress that main storyline but also get someone's background involved, because that's just a really cool combination to make. And when it comes to backstories, yours just fit that the best, because you have shady people that you described, you have those connections and like I said before, the whole daughter thing was meant to be a completely loose arc on its own, but as we went on, I slowly just came, like while I was writing, I was just like why would I wait with that? Why would I not, like, because Matrim was like, we're not sure if he's gonna be like a bad guy, or just like I'm a bad guy, oh psych, I'm still a good guy, lol. So not only is Ryagel a really important and integral part to your story, it's also a really important and integral part to Matrim's story and his motives, and what is Matrim going to do with now with the knowledge of like, hey, I have a daughter, hey. Because the thing is with Matrim is like, what will he do? You know, like he'll, after next session, what is he going to do? What is his like next step? And I think having a daughter like in vision, like, okay, I have a daughter, she's there, is going to be really interesting to see what both you and Matrim, but mainly Matrim, decides to do while, you know, he's not going to be with the party adventuring with you. Like, what is he going to do? You know? Yeah,
especially because it's still really new to him too, right? Like, I've obviously known about her since she was born. Matrim's known for a few days, or however long it's been in the past few episodes. So it's a lot to process.
Yeah, so that's going to be something that I'm kind of happy with that we have 2 weeks, so that I have a lot of time to. Because the thing is, next arc, I want to take a little less control, and I want to give you guys a little more like, hey. Whereas I planted some like semi-important quests across Khazir. You have like your lair, base, whatever the fuck that you can visit that you haven't gone to yet. You guys got given that coin that if you would take to, like what the guy said, like anyone in charge for the Empress could lead into some cool stuff. Naronk has that book with the artifacts that can be hunted down and tried to find. There's a lot of things that you could do, and I'm going to give you guys a little more, like, I'm gonna loosen up the reins a little bit and let you guys just drag it along for like the next handful of sessions just to see where you guys end up going to. Because the first artifact of the Sun Ring is officially in your possession now, which is cool.
It's the sword then that Tremaris got?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I thought so.
And that's Ryagal this whole time.
So
well, that'd be the best plot twist. It's not Matrim who we have to watch out for, and then in the end it's like Ryagal's been working for them this whole time, and she's the evil angsty teenager.
I'd be a liar if I would say that hadn't crossed my mind. Like, hey, that definitely was in my mind for like a few seconds, and then I was like,
she was actually like baiting us to try and be like trap for Ooleth or some shit. Like, who knows?
But yeah, like Tremaris found the first artifact of the Sun Ring in that tower. It's a short sword called Flourish, and that already has some cool powers where he like just jammed it into the floor and the fucking spikes.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, like the more he uses that and the more he gets to know the blade, you know, like I said before, the artifacts will evolve over time if they feel like their wielder is worthy of getting to that next stage. So it's gonna be exciting. It's an exciting thing to like look forward to, and the more of those artifacts you find, you know, the better equipped you are against the cult. And like they're definitely designed as a little bit of a tool to help you face the more dangerous of the cult members. Because I feel like Ooleth as a fight was really good. Whereas it was a fight that didn't take the entire session. It was like a 2-hour fight, I believe, two hour.
I think so.
Ish.
Yeah. Which
I think is good. Like Iron Deck was a sick fight, but like a 4-hour fight is a little overboard. So.
But it's also like it didn't take the whole session, only 2 hours, but there was still stakes. Yeah. Like 2 of us were unconscious. Like it didn't feel easy.
Exactly.
We had to work for it.
Yeah, 2-hour fight. It got close for some of you. It's I feel like as far as boss fights go, Ooleth has definitely been the most dangerous of them all so far.
Was the most satisfying to kill.
I believe that. We'll get into that in a little bit because Nicole finally got his fucking the thing that he longed for so long finally happened.
Even then he like.
So like my goal was because when you guys got to where you were in the demi-plane, I figured, do I have them wait for Ooleth and do that next sesh? But with the knowledge of TwitchCon and like a week break, I was like,
yeah,
let's just do the boss fight now. And like I cut away a little bit that I had.
I definitely thought we were gonna be in that nightmare plane a bit longer. I thought we'd have to fight shit while we were in there rather than just like, you know, our minds and stuff. So like when we left, I was like, I kept waiting for it to be like surprise, like we were still there or something. So I was just like, no.
The thing is, I kept rolling. I rolled d4s every time you were traveling. I was like, okay, roll the d4. Okay, you after your little like nightmare vision, you spend X amount of hours getting to that tower. And then what I did was, the thing is, you spent like 6-7 hours in the Nightmare Realm, like, but that translated to 2 weeks in the Prime Material Plane. Like you came back 2 weeks after you.
This is true.
Hopped in so IRL time has really like it's been 2 weeks. Like you've been gone for 2 weeks, which
on the note of time, just had a thought, because like we had that fountain where people were magically aged and stuff. Obviously I am really terrible at this, at keeping track of in-game time, obviously, are you just gonna like give us a reminder? By the way, it's been a year. Everyone add a year to your age on your character sheet, because like I'm not gonna remember, and depending on how long this campaign goes for.
I mean, we have a calendar now, so I keep track. I put the dates down now. Whenever
Okay.
When you went into the portal, it was this date, and then you came out 2 weeks later, so that's now that date. So I'm keeping track of the dates.
Okay, cool. Because I'm definitely.
It is now in game. It's like the equivalent of. Grab my notes real quick.
So it's the first of the new month. Okay.
Yeah, like the 1st of March. Yeah, it's currently the equivalent of the 1st of March in game. And the campaign started like.
Where does the calendar exist on the wiki?
It's called calendar. The page. So. To,
but there's episode list, campaign, characters,
no, just if you just
factions.
If you just look in like the little search bar, calendar.
Oh,
you'll be able
okay,
to...
search calendar. Okay. That is very useful for people like me who just don't keep track of shit all.
Yeah, you can like lose a crossbow in a house.
Yeah.
Well, so, the page just has the months and days. Doesn't have a calendar with like milestones of when the party.
Oh
did
no.
I'm
just like in my notes I have like a
in your notes
I have it tracked. So whenever because I made the calendar like partway through, I just figured okay, the first few episodes I'd only have like charted, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
And I really like started taking down the dates after the whole Christmas thing where you fought Krampus and all that. That's when I was like, you know what, dude, New Year, it's now 7:56 right now. From now on I'm going to keep track of time in game.
Okay.
So yeah.
Pretty cool.
Time travel messes everything up. That's a cool thing about D&D and like interplanal, I don't know what the fucking word is, like
planal, I think, yeah.
Traveling from plane to plane. Time works differently in each plane, and like time translates differently back to like the home plane, if you will. That's something, Jonimus, that is something that I consider. Like, what if they come out before they go in?
Whoa!
Like that was something that crossed my mind, and I was like, man, that'd be
Fuck
really
me
cool.
up.
That'd be really cool.
You're just gonna Inception us, Dutch? Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
like that was gonna be really cool, but be so fucking complicated. You know?
We just see ourselves going like, oh, dickers, don't fucking go in there.
But that is something that I considered, like, what if they come out before they go in, and with that knowledge of like going in, they can, set like a trap for Ooleth or whatever.
I'm glad we didn't, because that time travel stuff hurts my brain. I'm just like, okay, it makes things very confusing.
Yeah, so I was just like, I kept it relatively simple by just saying, okay, 1d4 for each hour spent in the Nightmare Realm, and it came up to 14 days exactly. So I was like, okay, I got 2 weeks. There you go. Like 1d4 days for each hour spent in the Nightmare Realm, and that came out to 14 days. So I figured, all right, cool. That works.
Nice.
Let's see. There we go. There's a lot of shit happened.
A lot of shit happened.
Like, we'll just like, okay, since you guys are here, Koiba.
Yes, that's me.
When I started like describing your nightmare,
I wanted to die.
like, when did you realize? Wait, this is Durash. Like, was it like?
Oh, the second you mentioned the village, man, I was like, this is gonna be.
Huh?
Like, I was like 100. Like, the second like you see like these stone, you see like it looks like a village, I'm like, this is gonna be fucking Durash in it. I think it's like Durash or something. Like it's something in Joshua. It's gonna be its hometown. I was like I half expect it to be the scene that Nicole saw when he enters Durash. That like kind of barren wasteland of corpses and blood. And you're like, oh no, it's you're seeing his nightmare of as it happened and see his wife get fucking decapitated. I'm like, thanks, Dutch. Thanks, mate.
That was rough.
That was real rough.
And the real thing, thing that I wanted to stress, and what I deemed important, was that Aberran saw that too. It is not something that just happened in your head. It is something that physically was there.
That's why like my first thing was like I'm touching the walls. Like I was like, the Cool doesn't believe this is real. He knows this is like he's been told it's the nightmare like Vil. Touch the wall. Oh, it's real. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. And then I made you roll wisdom saves, and basically the way it worked was every time you failed a save, like a layer got added on top of
okay, I was
on top of it. So you rolled your first wisdom save.
I rolled like
you saw that you saw the village.
Yeah.
Then I made you roll your first save, I believe.
Yeah.
That resulted in you seeing your wife being fucking murdered. Then you rolled another save, which you also failed. So then the goblins that you spent some time with showed up, and then I think you rolled another save and you failed that as well, which is when you had to fight this Maleficent, this like shadow demon.
Saves and then one.
The shadow demon that showed up.
They got like
and fucking.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm so glad I used my rage on that because it fucking just destroyed me. So I was just like, you did a considerable enough of damage one hit where it's like, I need to half that damage, man. Like I can't. Like I was like, nah, I can't get hit with that again. And then like it did like 1 damage to me after that. I was like, fuck, what a waste.
Yeah, the first attack he did a lot of damage, but after that I was like, eh.
First attack put me down like.
But the thing is, like the Maleficent had like an AC of 20 or something, so like it was really hard to hit. But you guys rolled pretty high in your attack rolls.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, on average, right? If I roll recklessly, I think my average to hit is like 19, 20 anyway, just because it's +9.
Like on paper, the average you roll if you have advantage every. Like if you roll like we did the research for Octanus once because people were like really sus about her rolls. Yeah. So me and Gypsy went to like do the math and like on average, if you have advantage each attack, your average will be like 14, 15.
Well, like, and then with that, like I roll plus.
Oh no! Your average will be like 12-ish, and then you have to still add your modifiers and shit.
Yeah.
So like
if it's 12 plus 9, 21 is the average for me to do a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't matter. This last session I rolled 7 nat 20s because apparently.
That was nuts.
That was
everybody rolled insane. Like I also rolled like 2 or 3 nat 20s. Everyone rolled insane.
We must have hit like between 15 and 20 nat 20s that session.
Yeah, that was definitely the most.
That was
natural 20s.
I only got
in a
1
sesh.
nat 20 that session.
That was
like
when it happened. I was like, that's not nat 20. Don't fucking lie.
I remember the one time, I think it was on the 7th, where you just like lost your shit laughing, and it was so funny.
Yeah, it was
like it was nat 20 and then like a 17. And
I dare say that at past sesh was like the sesh with the most natural 20s because that was nuts. Everyone rolled out of their fucking
session when I'm gonna roll like a 3 or lower.
Yeah, you rolled like 7. Bell rolled like 3 or 4. I rolled like 3.
Aberan rolled like 3.
Yeah, like everybody rolled nuts.
Thomas had a couple.
Like the natural 20s last session were insane.
I mean, I didn't waste in that 20 luck because I found some cool shit, man.
Yeah, true. True.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was the investigation roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was off because like.
Yeah, you found 100 platinum, so there you go. Which I put there meant to be split amongst the party, and then.
Boom.
Nicole
might still be.
Decides to pocket 1,000 gold for himself.
Hey man, 100 platinum, it'd be split. It might not be.
It'd be one thing if it was the first time, but you already kept the gems and got yourself some really nice hand shit. It's like you can't be the only one with cool shit in the party. Come on, man. Because the problem with that, we buff one person, that one person goes down, then the rest of us are fucked. You just spread the buff, spread the cool things.
Hey man, it would probably just be health potions that was gonna be spent onto me.
Which is fucking sad.
No.
I mean, the thing is as well.
It could still be split. He just hasn't found a good time for it. Also, he's doing some shady shit in the wrong first.
I was gonna say it could still be split after he's already approached the wrong, saying, "Don't tell anyone if I tell you what I found." Okay.
Yeah, just not the 400 platinum. Hey guys, I found 50 platinum.
Man, I love how our Laura is like the same as Laura Bailey, which is like money. No, stop, don't steal.
Oh, but on that note though, because like Gypsy and Koiba just in your stream the other day, we're going because of course Aberan feels very strongly about stealing from the party, and Gypsy and Koiba have real life bromance, but their characters are going to be having a major problem if Aberan finds out. But then but the thing that because Aberan's issue with it, or Gypsy saying, he's worried it's gonna down the line. This keeps happening. If you get enough dissent in the party, if enough of us are like, we don't trust you, we don't like you, like there's no reason in game to make it worth sticking with you. We'd all like kick you out. and there'd be PvP shenanigans, which no one wants. But I said there is this thing I could think. It reminds me of the whole thing with like Vexalia in Critical Role Campaign 1. Since you mentioned Laura Bailey, she often will try like the broom when she stole the broom and didn't tell the party for the longest time.
That broom was so
like
funny.
That. So like Vexalia also can get like, while she is very much I am like the treasurer and I keep charge of Vox Machina's money, she still also occasionally pulls shady shit and like hides things in the party, but then it comes out. But she does enough other good things to balance out. So you just gotta be careful then, Koiba. Just gotta make sure you make yourself indispensable in other ways. So then we find out about your stupid shit, you just gotta like slap on the wrist and oh god, that Nicole, man.
It's almost like Nicole has like wants to get friends with Naronk, and it's just like this fucker. So Nicole thinks Naronk's a shady motherfucker, right? And he's like, I know this guy likes money. I'm gonna like, I know this guy's money. If I can give him my good books, right, and learn about him, I can blackmail this bitch. I can get him and be like, right, let's go.
Yeah, because okay.
4D chessing it. Was an idiot.
Laura also figured something out, fun detail, out of character, and Soko. Because the NPC you found in the Nightmare Realm was a member of a group called the Golden Blades, which are the Empress, her personal mercenaries.
And in our other
campaign, they are the new Golden Blades, and they haven't, like the Empress just said, the previous group went on a mission and didn't really come back.
So now we know where at least one of them ended up. Although Soko's not even in that campaign anymore, so.
Yeah, true, but he was there for that, so.
For that part, yeah.
And now you guys have like a token that supposedly maybe if you turn it into either one of the Lord Regents or if you happen to run into the Empress herself.
Yes, we just done the market.
Then we run into a problem, because then we have to meet ourselves. Like.
Your rich pie might be out on a business trip. It's fine.
Nah. Like, you just have something that if you show it to the right person might get you something in return. I want to also talk a little bit about the boss fight, about Ooleth.
Yeah. What a cunt.
500 HP, by the way.
That's 500 HP.
Oh my god.
Fallen Asimar, resistant to radiant and necrotic damage, 10 strength, 14 dex, 16 con, 20 intelligence, 20 wisdom, and 10 charisma.
He was hardcore magic boy.
Yes. 5 first level spell slots, 4 second level spell slots, 3 third level, 2 fourth level, 1 fifth level, and then like a little bit of a break glass in case of emergency, plane shift just in case he needs to get the fuck out.
I'm so glad he did not plane shift. If we got that goes any plane shifted away, I would have been so mad.
You would have been mad. That happened 4 times, motherfucker.
Spells that he didn't use. Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Oh, I know that one.
Didn't use that.
I know that one.
Ray of Enfeeblement. Didn't use that.
He didn't.
He didn't use Ray of Enfeeblement.
You tried to use it on me and you missed.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, my bad.
You whiffed it.
Acid Arrow. He didn't use, I don't think.
No, you didn't.
He didn't use Hold Person. He did Bestow Curse. He did Counterspell. He did Vampiric. He did Vampiric Touch. Laura.
He did Vampiric Touch. I was like
many times.
He used Magic Missile. He used Necrotic Touch.
He used Blight.
Oh, he used Blight.
He used Inflict Wounds at one point, I think.
Yeah. He used that twice, I think.
Phantasmal Killer, which he used once, but sadly didn't work because that's a fun. Wisdom saving throw on a failed save. I like Phantasmal Killer because it works well with the whole Dempulin Nightmares you guys just went through. Because if you fail the save, a manifestation of your deepest fear frightens you, and you are frightened, and you take 4d10 psychic damage if you fail the save as well.
4d10.
5th level spell that he had, that he didn't use, which would have been fucking cool if he had, but sadly he had to use his counterspell at 5th level to fizzle out one of, I think, Aberran's spells.
It was Aberran. Aberran did something cool, and he was so mad.
It was Aberran's Spirit Guardian.
Yeah, the fucking Spirit Guardian. Yeah. He had a 5th level spell called Contagion.
Ooh, that doesn't
which
sound good.
Your touch inflicts a disease. Make a melee spell attack against a creature within your reach. On a hit, you afflict the creature with a disease of your choice from any of the ones described below. At the end of each of the target's turns, it must make a Constitution saving throw. After failing 3 of these saving throws, the disease effects last for the duration of 7 days. and the creature stops making these saves. After succeeding 3 of the saving throws, the creature recovers from the disease spell ends. There's just a bunch of diseases that I could have picked from. I could have blinding sickness. Pain grips the creature's mind, and its eyes turn milky white, where you would be blind for 7 days.
Ew! Fuck that. No.
Filth fever. A raging fever sweeps through the creature's body. Creature has disadvantage on strength checks, strength saving throws, and attack rolls that use strength. Flesh rot. The creature's flesh decays. The creature has disadvantage on charisma checks and vulnerability to all damage. Mind fire. The creature's mind becomes feverish. The creature has disadvantage on intelligence checks and intelligence saves. And the creature behaves as if under the effects of the confusion spell during combat.
Oh, gross.
Seizure. The creature is overcome with shaking. The creature has disadvantage on dex checks, dex saves, and attack rolls that use dex. Slimy doom. The creature begins to bleed uncontrollably. The creature has advantage on constitution checks, saves, and whenever the creature takes damage, it's stunned until the end of next turn. So that would be a fucking bitch to deal with, because that's if that fucking like I would have been able to pick. So for instance, if I would have hit Nicole with it, I would have probably gone for the one that does shit to your strength. But like it lasts for 7 days, and I don't think any one of you has like a cure disease spell. Pretty sure. Because I think that's spell.
Bran might, but
he
not
might,
100%.
but he has to like prepare it.
Yeah.
So you would have at least had to deal with it for the rest of the fight, which would have been a bitch. So yeah, that's a spell that he didn't use because he had to counterspell it.
Counterspell. That's fucking lit though.
Yeah.
You know, that boss was good.
Who got the killing blow again? Was that you?
Bell technically got the killing blow,
okay.
and then he death warded on 1 HP, and I just stabbed him.
Yeah. There
I
you
thought
go.
Narank. Oh yeah, because Narank got him down to right before the death ward, and then Bell got him on the death ward.
Bell technically killed it. Got the last, but I got the last hit and killed him. So
yeah. That must have been so satisfying, knowing that you're the one that wanted him dead the most, I feel like.
I was kind of upset that when Bell killed him before the death ward, I was like, man, Nicole kind of did nothing this fight. It's like no satisfaction. Like he's not satisfied at all. He got trapped in the floor, and he's alive again. I was like, yes, I'm next. I'm like, yes, it's me.
I would have been, if I were new, I wouldn't have been too upset because, but that was a bit metagamey. But like he did something because I remember immediately thinking he's just done death ward. There's something that tipped me off, and I'm like, the first time we kill him, he's not dead. I just knew it.
Yeah, he did some at the beginning of the fight, but that was something that was just to like enlarge the room. He had death ward because he has a ring. No one looted the body, by the way, and the body is now gone.
Didn't Narank loot?
Oh yeah, he looted it, but he didn't roll high enough.
He didn't roll well.
He had a ring of death ward where.
Oh fuck!
If Narank would have rolled high enough, he would have found it. But yeah, now the corpse is gone.
Damn it, Narank!
Oh,
you know what else is gone? My crossbow and Bell's hand axe.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, he rolled an 18, but that wasn't high enough.
He probably needed to roll a 20 or something to get them. Because that's a really powerful item.
That's a really powerful item. So I made the DC to find that really fucking high. Yeah. Yeah, he had a ring of death ward, whereas just the first time you die, the death ward spell. Like it has 1 charge, and every morning when you wake up, you have to roll. I think it's a percentile dice, and if you roll above a certain percentage, this charge refills.
That's pretty
yeah, so you just have like a free death ward, pretty much. Yeah. But that ring's gone, so good luck. Because the entire fucking building got into the ground.
We'll just find another one.
We'll just find. Yeah, those artifacts of the Sundering, they're like, you can just get another one, right?
Artifacts of the Sundering are a little more powerful than just I'm curious to like, okay. What do you want to do next, Koiba? What is your like, okay, we did this, what do we do?
I mean, so Nicole, he's got, once we read through all that information he's just got, because he's found, you said you found like some like locations of where the Dragonborn are, like a new thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember if you said it was a list or if it was a map? I can't remember. I think you said it was a list. I remember you saying map. You just said it had locations on it, but.
Yeah. Was that when you found like the book?
That's no. So that was where
Because that was
found.
you had a
That was
book
when that's when I found the
information on
Gabi
you.
platinum. So that was when I found the platinum.
Yeah,
you also
yeah,
said
yeah.
I found the information on myself and information on the location of the Dragon.
Yeah, just general information of like Dragonborn that they still need and where they know there's a couple of them. Yeah.
So
what did
Nicole's wants to study this chair.
I'm curious, like, what did you think when like you found that book and it was like they've been watching you for like the past 6 months?
I was upsetty.
To say the least.
To say the least, yeah. Like, Nicole's now on edge completely. He is not happy because he just doesn't know who's watching him, where from. Like, that's the main thing. That's the main thing is he wants this information to try and find out like how they're watching him. They probably don't say that because that'd be like.
That's good because my goal. I felt like Nicole was a little too comfortable with the fact that there's an evil cult out there hunting him. So I needed. I needed a tool.
Yeah.
To really like show, not necessarily you, but show Nicole that hey, listen, this is serious. They know all about you and what you do. And
the problem is that Nicole has right now is because he's faced a couple of them and killed them. He's like, this cult ain't shit, is it? They're like. Because in the fights, they haven't done much damage to Nicole. It's been everyone else around him. So he's like, fucking.
Okay, if they haven't done much damage to you, you've watched your party members get
but Nicole himself,
that doesn't concern you.
But it does a bit, right? No.
Yeah, but has Nicole?
Koiba does. But Nicole doesn't have a like.
But like,
oh, these people are fucking me up. He's like,
Nicole knows that. Yeah. There's a ritual that needs to be done that requires Dragonborn. But like, does Nicole understand that they need him alive to kill him? With the proper means.
I don't think he does because where he's only seen them dead, like in the thing. Nicole very much thinks they just have to kill me, like because
that's the reason why when these boss fights happen, I like with the cultists, I don't target you as much because they know like
I never noticed that before.
I noticed it, but I thought just Dutch was like trying to play mind tricks on me because I fight like assuming they're gonna go after me, so I just like recklessly it and just like fucking they're going after me, whatever, dickhead, and they don't. I'm like.
They need to perform a certain ritual on you,
right?
Which is why.
Well, I'm not gonna metagame that.
No, but like which is why during the boss fights, both Ras and Ooleth now haven't really gone for you. Yeah. Because their goal is kill everyone around you so that they can then abduct you and do the thing with you that they need to do.
But because of that, Nicole's like, oh shit, these people mean business. But because he is in the way he is, he's like. I can kind of find new people, and he's also like, they're not. It's not affecting him 100%. So he's just like, he's arrogant in the sense of like, I'm strong.
Yeah,
and he knows
I'm
he's
excited.
strong.
I'm excited
to
watch
now
you.
he's seen how long they've watched him for. He's gonna be like, he's a bit paranoid.
I'm excited. Like the thing I'm excited for is that there's gonna be a point. Like, arrogance got the best of Ash.
Arrogance gonna get the best in Nicole. It's so.
And there's going to be a point where.
Why do you think I say I'm gonna die? So like, he's just gonna.
There's gonna be a point where, like, I'm not saying Nicole's gonna die because of like he's a cocky prick, but like, there's gonna be like, Nicole's gonna get hit with that like moment of realization at some point, where it's like, wait.
We're gonna translate a book.
I am in danger, you know, and that's gonna be exciting to see how that like. Develops Nicole as a character from like being this cocky, hey, I got this, to like this.
Koiba's also just making me more and more worried that what Gypsy's worried about is gonna come true. Because even out of character things like, oh, I could find new people. Oh, I could do this. It's like here we're all like actually maybe starting to care about each other, and then he's like, nah, fuck it, I'm here for convenience. So like, I'm just waiting for all his shit to come to light, him to say, and he's already like pissed me off once, and now he's in something that redeemed. Also right now, because she only focused so much anger kind of on like one person at a time. And so she was starting to forgive you, and then LauraK pissed her off. So now it's LauraK and you're fine. But it's still gonna like that, and then Aberan's like gonna annoyed at you. I'm just waiting for it to happen, and like I don't want Laura doesn't want you to leave because I do think Nicole's and even like James mentioned, Nicole's his favorite character before he was on like the show to watch because he thinks you role play him the best. Like there's the least trace of like meta gaming, the least trace of Koiba. It's like no. He never questions basically of would your character do that, whereas other characters sometimes is like, is that what they would have done? I don't know. And like we all occasionally will look at someone's actions and go, really, is that? And we don't always know everything that's going on in their heads.
I have that a lot with with Soko because there's so much of Soko in his character. I'm like, is this Soko or is this LauraK? You know? Or
I
can always tell because when Nicole does something dumb, you guys are like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's what he would do. And he was like, oh,
yeah. I'm like, but I am getting more and more worried that it's genuinely gonna result in some like PvP shit because you're gonna just take things a little too far one day, and then all the things that were just like Nara or Nakul are gonna become Nakul that fucker, and it's gonna go from like exasperating to we're actually mad.
Nakul don't do groups. He's been alone for a long time, and he's not like you don't really understand group mechanics.
Like, look at it this way: the last group that he was involved with, he got exiled from, and then when he came back, they were all dead.
So, but you think that would make him maybe a bit more careful? This is like, hey, I have this again. I have like companionship again. Let's maybe not fuck it up.
Well, he kind of learned how to be by himself and like survive by himself and do things like independently. And he's like being groups, great. I can like this is great. Everything's easier in life. Like this is so much cooler. Like, these people are cool. I can trust them. Stuff is great. But he's like, worst comes to worst, I can go by myself again. Like if worst comes to worst, like he's always like with the back. Like he doesn't want to rely too much on other people because he knows if he does, he becomes dependent and then he'll lose what he became. So he's very much.
I kind of get that because like I kind of Kisaren gets it because she also was on her own for 16 years after she escaped prison, thinking people she cared about being around is too dangerous for her to be around because she's wanted, and then everyone else she's like, oh man, I'm a bad person, so I don't want to. I shouldn't allowed to be happy. But now it's like she's slowly coming back to all right. This is what it was like to have friendship.
Next session is going to be really exciting because you're going to learn all about like how Ryagel. Like it's going to be a Ryagel focus.
Yeah, because
that's what.
I told a bunch of people I wrote...
if you play your cards right, like it fully depends on how you like interact with her, of course.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
How Ryagel, you know, where is she raised? How did she get?
I was just so. You know? The minute you said Serana's name, it literally was like actual, like physically, I could feel the like punch to my stomach almost because in character, because everyone was just like, oh fuck. And immediately, I've been going over for days, like, what am I gonna do if and when we find her? Because once I'm not, the major difference between Laura and Kisaren is Laura's not maternal. Laura hates kids. Laura does not know how to relate to this. And I kept thinking, what would they do? What would like a mom do? And then I realized I was overthinking. Just react in the moment. And then when that happened, it was like everything clicked within a second. I was like, nah, I'm not telling her. Like because Kisaren and her mom have a really interesting relationship, and she was clearly like a daddy's girl. Her dad was like the world to her, and when he died it was terrible. And her mom, she still loved her mom, but also her mom's human. Kisaren's the Genasi, and her dad was like, she still always felt a little bit different from her mom. And then her mom they both needed each other in a specific way when Menai, her dad, died, and they just weren't able to. They tried to be there for each other, but in the way they would want someone to be there for them, not the way they thought the other person needed. And they had a lot of tension. They fought a lot. Kisaren, the last time she spoke to her mom, it was a screaming fight, and she left home and became an assassin. So it didn't end well. Yeah. And then she does know that.
Does Kisaren like? What is?
But it's like all that being said, she doesn't hold it against her mom. She knows her mom is an amazing mother. Mom tried, and Kisaren. They went through a situation that no mom would ever have to even imagine how to deal with. And Kisaren also was a bit of a difficult kid. And now that she also is in trying to be a mom mentality, I think she also understands her own mom a lot more.
What do you think would happen? Like, what do you think, as Laura, what do you think happened and how did Ryagel get to
I genuinely don't know. Because in Laura's mind and Kisaren's mind, she was literally one of the most hated people in the city of Kalzir, and she's infamous, and they think she's evil. She thought her baby would have been brought to an orphanage and just left, because no one's gonna give a fuck about the kid of not only one criminal, two criminals, because Matt's also in prison. Like, what prison guard is gonna think, oh, I want to give this child a chance, I'll go find her actual family or something? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So that's also why Kisaren thought she'd have to search the world for her kid, because she figured she's been thrown in some random place, or they would send her as far away as possible on the off chance Kisaren tried to get out and find her. Like, she'd be sent to fucking like Sagalia or like a Hammerdon or some shit, like somewhere far away.
I'm really excited for you.
I genuinely have no idea how
I'm excited for you to find out how she got where she got, and more importantly, why it was so hard to track her.
Yeah,
because there's been several people with great power that were unable to track her location, and looky, she turned out to be right in the middle of the city.
If she'd been abducted the whole time, that makes sense, because this cult is clearly very powerful. I figured if they had her, but she was talking about growing up with her mom, so it sounds like she, at least for most of her life, was just in Kisaren's old bedroom. Like,
I fucking love how Kisran like is gonna try and look the world, and where was she? Her house.
Literally at her old house.
Literally
yeah.
her old
Home.
literally my bedroom. Like,
You know,
actually.
there's gonna be a lot of things that played into that. One of which is gonna be an interesting thing to reveal, because
I was genuinely shocked how much in the moment I so quickly. Basically, my mind went 50 million miles a minute, and I managed to think through like an entire novel. I basically weigh the pros and cons. Do I tell her? Do I leave her with Lorana? Oh, she's better off that way. And like so much happened in my head, but also how much it actually kind of hurt. That I'm like, I'm doing what's best. I think I'm doing what's best for her, but I never get to. My whole life is I'm gonna find her, so I get to be a mom, and hopefully she doesn't hate me. But now it's like, you know what? Maybe it's better if she never does, and she can have a good. And I know, like, her mom, her grandmother in this case, is a wonderful person, and she's growing. Also, she's living in the house of the richest man, maybe in the whole like world as far as they know. So she's never gonna want for
definitely one of the rich,
shelter, like,
rich people in the Expanse. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's set for money. She has a loving family. She now has seen her fight, so she's not worried about like.
Like, I'm excited because I now have 2 weeks to put to paper, just in case you end up going say hi to your mother. How those relationships within that household developed, like Haran, your mom, fucking like the guards there, Ryagel, how that all developed and stuff. And you know, you still have other people in your past that kind of have something to do with several things. You know, men like Petar Berg and Matchroom as well is gonna have like a.
There was a chance that maybe
Matchroom has a big choice to make as well next session. I feel like.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna. I asked him. That might be mad but like James and I are dating IRL, so it's like there isn't all that much that we don't talk to each other about. So pretty much nothing. So I sent him. I wrote a letter, a first draft, just because I had it in my head and I wanted to get it out before I forgot it. Kisaren would leave for her mom after this, either by giving Ryagel to give to her, but then maybe she might not trust her to not open it, so maybe she just go sneak into the house and leave it there. Either way, like, wrote a letter, and I asked, I sent it to James what he thought, and he was asking me questions about it, and I said, by the way, Hanzo brought up a good point. He asked if I'm sure I don't want to tell Ryagel the truth, and I was like, I'm sure, and he goes, well, what about Matrim? What does he want to tell her? And because James wasn't there, we didn't get a lot of that, you know? I have no idea what he thinks. And he messaged me, he said, Matrim would never tell her because he thinks she's smart enough to figure it out on her own after some of the things Ooleth said.
That's the funny thing as well, is that Gypsy made so many like backhanded comments like, ooh, it's so obvious. And I'm like, yeah, but how do you know that Ryagel doesn't know this? Like, you're assuming things based like, Ryagel doesn't say anything, doesn't mean she doesn't know, you know? Like, she's like, without spoiling too much, like, she sleeps in her own mother's like old bedroom, for fuck's sake. Do you really think that she doesn't have? And now suddenly she's half fire, half water. A fire and a water Ganassi show up to save her. Do you really think she's that fucking dense? You know, like,
yeah, that's why, like Hanzo said, she's just met two Ganassi. One's treating her super weird.
Yeah,
Ooleth said she'll never get to find out who her real mother is, so she hasn't already put 2 and 2 together. She might be dumb. And she
also told about a Ganassi book in a room.
Yeah,
because I was a bodyguard. And it's like, exactly. Oh yeah, I found this Ganassi.
Well, that part's true. All his bodyguards live in the house. Because like one of the things I wrote about being unique with being raised where she was, he's like this incredibly wealthy man, and most people of his wealth that have this level of staff would treat them like they are possessions, they are slaves, they are servants, kind of thing. Whereas him, they were his actual family. Like, he would let the guard staff, he would let the maids, he would let her mom, like they all ate dinner with him every night at a giant table. The only time he wouldn't is if he had like fancy people coming over to visit, like, you know, royalty or some shit. So they were very much her family as well. So it's not that far-fetched that, you know, they live in the house, they get nice quarters and everything.
Yeah, I can grab up Ryagel's sheet real quick, and we can go over that, her character sheet. She's more water than fire Ganassi. She is a water Genasi. She has just traces of fire Genasi. So
genetics.
in that aspect,
That makes sense because of I like to think that because of how Kisaren and her father became Genasi, because it wasn't the traditional half and half birth. It was a magical change, and I like to think as if almost in style like radiation, there was still a lot of raw elemental energy from that plane left over, and it gets less and less each generation, but there was still a fuck ton poured into Manai, and then a bunch of that into Kisaren, and then less so, but still a lot of residual energy into Ryagel.
Yeah.
And then matching would help.
I rolled for her stats, and after all the bonuses and stuff that she gets, racial bonuses and class bonuses, she has 18 strength.
Yeah, she's strong like mom.
18 dex, 14 constitution, 15 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 12 charisma. She has pretty.
She's kind of.
She has pretty good pretty good stats. She's a level 6 water Genasi fighter. She was level 6 already, so she had that over you as well.
She was better than her mom at fighting. Smile.
52 max HP.
I have more max HP than her now that I've leveled up, though, at her level.
She is an Eldritch Knight.
How much do you have?
I have 60 now because I rolled max on my latest health.
Yeah, she's an Eldritch Knight fighter, so she can do some magic shit as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
She equipment-wise, she had a Flame Tongue Scimitar, which is the scimitar she used.
That's
the one
what
she
it was.
On fire. She wears chainmail, so her AC is 16. She also has a double-bladed scimitar that she's proficient with, which is basically a scimitar is just a 1d6 damage dice, whereas a double-bladed scimitar, it's 2d4.
Okay.
She also has 2 hand axes that she can chuck if she needs to, and she, because she's an Eldritch Knight, she can cast spells. She currently only has cantrips, first level and second level spells, and I made sure that all the spells that I picked were either water or fire, because I made her an Eldritch Knight to really get the character that is both fire and water Genasi, because that's kind of what her heritage is.
Yeah.
So the spells she had were cantrips, control flames, ray of frost, and shape water. First level spell, she has Absorb Elements, Burning Hands, Ice Knife, and Mage Armor. And then second level is Create or Destroy Water.
Yeah.
How does she summon the blade out of nowhere? Because she's an Eldritch Knight, she has an ability called Weapon Bond, which is you can perform a 1-hour ritual to create a magical bond between yourself and one weapon. Once completed, you cannot be disarmed of the weapon unless you're incapacitated, and you can summon it as a bonus action to your hand if it's on the same plane of existence.
It's making me really want to be. I went back and forth so long about Battlemaster, Eldritch Knight.
As long as the scimitar is on the same plane of existence as her, she can just summon it out of nowhere. The thing is about her scimitar is she had it on her back or under her clothing, but instead of having to physically lift it out, she just and summons it in her hand. Yep. Which is a thing you get if you're an Eldritch Knight, because magic. You're like a fighter, but also a cat.
I want it! No one told me that. If someone told me I could be like a shard bearer from not Mistborn, Stormlight, I would have been like, yeah. I was debating that maybe, because I feel like every 2 sessions or so, I just keep going I wish I'd picked Eldritch Knight, and I keep going back and forth on which one is more in fitting with Kisaran's story, but now I'm wondering if after seeing her daughter, depending on how things end up, she takes inspiration and I just swap if Dutch would let me, but now I kind of want to, I picked it, I want to stick with it.
Talk about it.
See it through.
She also has one for the dueling fighting style, because she uses one-handed weapons, which adds just an extra +2 bonus to damage when wielding only a weapon in one hand. Which is the same thing Peldil has. By the way, man like Peldil has the same thing, where as long as he uses one-handed weapons and his other hand is empty, he gets just to do extra damage. It's lit.
Yeah.
She was a full-on fighter, so no other memes. So, the whole shebang, second wind, action surge, and all that shit.
That's pretty dope.
Let's see. What else does she have? She had 2 feats, because fighters get a feat or a skill
or stat
up at level 6, whereas other classes don't.
Well, that's all we get. We just get maneuvers or spells, and then stat improvements. That's all you get at each of those alternates.
So she had defeat Athlete, which is it increases the strength and dex by 1, and when you're prone, standing up only uses 5 feet of your movement. Climbing doesn't cost extra movement. And you can make a running long jump or running high jump after moving only 5 feet rather than 10, so you're very maneuverable. And Weapon Master. So another 1 added to strength and dex, and also just proficiency with a fuckload of weapons. Because the way I did it is just like she's gotten a lot of training. The way she was raised, and you'll figure that out, is just Serana also learned a lot from, you know, her first go around.
That's what I was so confused, because Serana was very against all of Kasarin's swordplay and fighting from a young age.
Yeah,
and it was like, she let it happen because it was clearly a bond that she had with her dad and her dad's work, and she figured her dad would be able to keep her safe. And then Dad died, now she's like, there's no one to keep Kasarin safe while she's going around trying to be a badass, and became even more against it. So I figured she'd go even harder, being like, no, that was my mistake. I let her use weapons. She became a killer. And I figured she'd go full on pacifist with Ryagel.
No,
and be like,
the opposite actually, because she, I don't want to spoil too much, but the way Serana kind of approached it was, I've been given a second chance at raising a girl, and this is what I did last time, and this is what happened. Mm-hmm. So she, instead of becoming more strict, she decided to be a little more chill. So she let her train with the captain of the guard in the house and all that. And nah, I can't say that. So you'll find out.
That's a big spoiler.
Yeah, I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, okay, how can I say this without? But that's definitely like, I don't even know if you guys will, but if you end up like, you know, like taking her home and like that's.
I definitely plan to, like, if
having that
like interaction story allows me, I will put on Julia alias and take. What I think Kasarin will do is bring her to the house, not go inside, be like, you're back, and then I'm still torn between whether I find time to write the letter and just give it to Ryagel and say, give this to your mom. But then I also am like, if it were me, I'd fucking read that letter before I gave it to the mom. So I don't know if I want to give it to her, because it would tell Ryagel things that. Again, Kasarin is also part of, like, she has a guess that Ryagel knows who she is, or at least knows something is being kept from her, but she made the decision in the moment. She thought it was right. Now she's like, well, I'm gonna stick with it, and hopefully Ryagel sees it the way she does, that I'm doing this for you. I know you're gonna have a better life without me present in it, kind of thing, and rather than resenting her for it. But there's still things in the letter that even if Ryagel decides to hate her, that might make Ryagel upset with Serana.
I'm just excited.
So I don't want to.
I'm just very excited for first, like, there's 2 things that I'm really excited for. Is that the potential, like, of that conversation between Kasarin and Serana. That's gonna be like, if that happens, it's gonna be really
I'm trying to think if Kasarin's brave enough to do it, or if she's gonna chicken out and do the letter, or is she like, no,
and the thing is as well is, like, I'm just excited for it to be clear, like, okay, what does Ryagel know? How is she going to? Because if you suddenly decide to put on a hat of disguise when taking her home, she's gonna be like, you know.
But I can't go in there looking like me. I can't walk through the streets.
Why are you hiding what you are? You know.
I know I can't.
But so,
the thing is,
I have ideas.
I also feel like, though, I now realize, I think in the heat of the moment, because Kasarin, there's so many emotions, she's now gonna realize, oh fuck, she's kind of, because again, her wanted poster has been all over Kalzir since she escaped, and
which
now
is why
she
I'm
never
so
saw
excited,
Ryagel,
because
so
you don't know what she knows, and when that, like, gets revealed, like, okay, this is what Ryagel actually physically knows, and this is what she thinks, and this is what she assumes.
But even no matter what she knows, she knows that she's seen. She could choose to fucking go out me, and her track record with her family is not great, because it's within the letter. Her mother's the one that turned her in, and her mother's the reason she got caught. history repeating itself is very likely. Also why she's kind of afraid to go see Serana in person. She doesn't blame her for the letter says she forgives her for it. She understands she needed to get caught because she was going down. She'd become a very terrible monster. But
the thing is, like,
she still doesn't want to go back now.
No, I understand, but I'm just excited to see all that happen, and you know, because there's just a lot of cool character development waiting there, and there's also a lot of cool like I think if that all happens, Kisaren will also have a lot more peace of mind, knowing that, like, because now there's a lot of uncertainty, like, both for the whole Serana, what does she think of Kisaren at this point? Like, there's a lot of uncertainty there. Like, you just assume the worst, but maybe it's not that bad, or maybe it is, you know. And there's also the daughter, and what does she know, and how does that work, and how did that, and what is this, and I think the potential of just answering some of those like questions or like uncertainties, insecurities that are there is going to be very liberating for Kisaren, so she can, you know, be a little less like tensed up about that shit.
The problem is, I think now what Kisaren wants to do is let Matrim take Ryagel back, because they don't know who he is. He could go in there and not worry, and then give him the letter and say, when you drop her off, like, make sure this gets in Serana's hands, and basically chicken out and not go. But Laura wants her to go, just like you said, for that closure, for that storytelling. Like I said,
it's all up to you. It's an exciting prospect, because there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of stuff there.
I don't know a scenario where it's not metagamey and I'm doing it just because I know it's going to be fun to roleplay.
I think a lot of weight, like a lot of, I think Matrim will have a big role in whether Kisaren, like what Kisaren ends up doing next when it comes to like the whole Ryagel. I think Matrim has a big role in that decision making as well, where, you know, if Matrim you know, I think Matrim is kind of, you know, judging on the past few episodes, a little bit of a voice of reason for Kisaren and her like inner struggle. Yeah.
And James did tell me in the DM when I said, like, well, are you okay with what I chose to do? Because you weren't there to be like, hey, listen. He said at the end of the day, he's like, without revealing too much, and he's like, he just wants Kisaren to be happy. That's what he said. So the question is, does Matrim think happiness is immediate, like, I will do what she wants me to do, and I'll let her not go? Or is, I think, long-term, like you said, she wants closure, she wants this, so he's gonna make me go have that conversation. The question is, which version does he think is? We'll see.
Like, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to just prepare for everything, because that's something like a conversation of that is not something I want to improv. I want to make sure that I have that like prepared and make sure that I know what to say.
Just funny because it's like that means all the important Kisaren moments I've realized I have to improv, because if I try and think ahead, I overthink and I ruin them and I metagame, so I'm not allowed.
Well, the thing is, that's because as a DM, I just like when I create characters, you know, as NPCs, I'm just like, okay, what is their attitude? What do they do? And when it comes to Serana, I just like I read through your notes. And I'm like, okay, so this is the type of person she is. And then I get to decide what she has become over like the past 16 years, because that's where your story about Serana ends. It's where my story of Serana, like, I
was gonna say, because I can send you if you want some of the passages I wrote during my novel writing thing of like Kisaren and her mom, but like you said, that's so long ago. I don't know if it'll actually help you.
That really helps what really helps me is because there's 16 years where there's like Kisaren's background, 16-year gap now, so there's like then over the 16 years, like I decide what type of person they have become in essence, like essentially. Where it's like, okay, so like when I do shit like this, for instance, the whole circus thing with Akanis, I was just like, okay, these are the type of people they are, so it makes sense for them to like have this sort of attitude, and which will lead to like this type of conversation, and this is so I don't like word for word write down and what I think they'll talk about. It's just, okay, this is the type of attitude they have, this is their like mindset on just the overall. And that's kind of how I just like wing the conversations. I just really try to make sure that I have a good grasp of what type of person it is, and that way it's really easy for me to like, okay, so this is the conversation that they would have. So that's an exciting thing to look forward to. Another thing that I'm really excited for is some Nicole stuff that I really don't want to, you know, talk about too much, but definitely.
Hey man,
there's, as far as you now know, the most information you have on the next cult member is the one donning the blue mask, is Ooleth's brother, and I guess Rayson.
Okay, yeah, but in the cool side, Rayson's kind of like not dealt with, but he's like, we'll get to that eventually. He's like, we'll worry about that later. Like, you know, he kind of.
Oh, you will get to that later.
I
Don't
know.
worry.
Oh, I'm sure.
But like, you know what I mean?
I think the fight with Rayson is gonna be a really important thing for Tremere as well.
Oh, huge.
I think
Also Tremere is gonna fucking.
I think that's
the
going
other
to be
thing.
very huge for
Nicole's
Tremere.
looking at like how Tremere's attitude is and like mood-wise before he's like, hey, we should probably go back and deal with Brayson, right? Like we should go like back there. Because currently Nicole's like, Tremere's is like.
I'm super excited for like your eventual return to Port Sarim because.
Yeah, Port Sarim's gonna go.
Man, Port Sarim.
Kick down the fucking door like that.
Port Sarim is going through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
One assumed after some things have happened.
Yes, very much so.
No, well, Nicole's worried anyway because like in his head and in my head, like Nicole's kind of made himself target number one in the cult's eyes because like just finds those crystals and just they all see him there like, hey, what's up? I found the magic seeing crystals, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, and they look back at you, motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. They've all just seen him in Ooleth's study, just like looking around, and they know that Ooleth is now dead, and he's just like, hey, everybody, how's it going?
I'm
confident for Nicole.
I'm excited because you now dealt with red, green, and gold.
Gold. Yeah.
So dragon-wise, you've dealt with 2 chromatic ones and 1 metallic one.
Yeah.
And I am just excited because like even though like next chapter will probably be a little less cult and more of you guys taking the wheel and wherever the fuck you guys end up going, you guys go to. But this cult stuff is gonna like the further down the line of cultists you go, like the more intense it's gonna get, and I'm
of course, you know, understandably.
Just have the master fight, easy peasy. We can take the master right here, right now. Let's go.
Right here, right now.
Fucking easy peasy.
And I'm just fucking stoked.
Like I said, well,
like in here, dude, there's so much stuff like already like half prepared in here that is like. Stuff for like months from now. You know, it's like, oh. Like, ooh.
But what's made Nicole happy as well recently, like, was seeing those crystals and then seeing that red one dolled. He was very much like, okay.
I was gonna say I was really happy about that. That plus the notes say they've been watching you for 6 months, and Matrim's only been with us for like a little while, but there were still notes from him. So I basically like metagame me Laura, because Aaron doesn't know what you saw, but metagame me Laura is like, ooh, Nicole might hate him less now. Excellent.
Nicole never really hated him. He hated what he represented.
Because like James is saying from a character standpoint, Matrim is still not like scared of, but very, very vigilant and aware of Narank and Nicole at all times. He's like, they're the most likely to like kill him in his sleep or decide, fuck Kisaren, let's get rid of this guy.
Well, like I say with like Matrim, it was very much like Nicole's like literally said, "Hey, don't do sketchy shit. I don't trust you that much." And like, and less than an hour later, he goes, "I'm gonna just sneak off, just randomly, without telling anyone."
And I was like, "Stop doing that,
motherfucker!" I literally just said, "If you're a sketchy motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you." And he just like, "I gotta kill him." But seeing that crystal gold has made Nicole.
Yeah, the way I did that is just like there was a crystal for each color dragonborns for each cultist. Mine is the master. It's like their way, like those crystals are in each of the layers of, like if you would have properly searched Matrim's little office area, you would have found the same crystal formation. But you didn't, so there you go. Which is just a way for the cultists, the council, to communicate while they're not like with each other, pretty much. And the doled out means that, you know, they're not
active anymore?
They're not there right now. Because it's not bound to that life force, because if it was, the red one would still be going because Matrim is still alive. It's just those 7 that were like lit up and were watching was just they were all in their lairs actively looking because they knew Ooleth was going to be next based on just the news that they've heard.
Imagine that 2 weeks were away with like talking to them all, being like, guys, I'm gonna kill them all. I'm gonna get the blue one.
It's been 2 weeks, so Ooleth has made sure to let the rest of the council know Matrim is a fucking traitor, and I'm going to be next. You know, like well aware, like I'm going to be targeted next. So they were keeping a really close eye on Ooleth and his estate. Which is also why. Fun fact. the whole house submerging was due to the powers of a really powerful druid.
Cool.
But that was not something that happened because you killed Ooleth. It was something that
Someone else did.
one of the other counselors was like, okay, we need to hide the evidence.
Yeah.
Which
Shit,
is
dude.
led to like one of the counselors will be a pretty powerful druid.
Yeah, so like I say, there's in that like one search of that room, Nicole has been like, these council members are shit. She's been like, oh fuck, and this is like a thing. Like he's been like, oh, they've been watching 6 months, cool, and oh, they now know I'm here and they've seen that I've done this. And,
yeah, and just to put that into perspective, in game, it's not yet. Nah, I fucked a little because of the fact that I didn't really come up with a calendar until halfway through. That's like a good 3 months before you even met the party. So it's definitely like they were watching you before they were made aware of you in that prison scenario with Rayson. Like they were already aware of you. You know.
Yeah. No. So like I said,
there's some stuff that you missed in that office as well, by the way.
I'm not shocked because I think I rolled like a nat 20 for the desk, and then for the general search of the room, I rolled like a 13 or something.
Okay.
There
So
were
really low for that.
there were if you would have searched the overall room a little more thoroughly, there would be information. Funnily enough, information that Nicole would have found really useful. Regarding a certain banner that he's wearing around his waist.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, man. Like you missed out. You really missed out. You really missed out.
I still need to get that book translated, for fuck's sake. I haven't done it yet. Just it's on my. There's a lot's happened, alright? Since finding that book.
The thing is, and the information about other Blue Dragonborn that are on the shit list of the cult, if you will. Because you're not the only Blue
Well, I mean,
Born
like, I'm not
that they're watching.
because, like,
but you are currently
closest.
target number 1.
Also, because it's personal now, because you were fucking
them.
with their shit. So
I was about to say, like, I'm probably like in the general grand scheme, I'm probably like a public enemy number 1 of.
Yeah. When it comes to Blue Dragonborn, you're definitely the one that they want most at this point. But before you were like, there was like they made like a top 5 of like, okay, these are the 5
top
Blue
5
Dragonborn that we know, that we've been watching, and that we know are somewhat accessible for a quick.
What color was Roku?
Red, which is also a color that they still need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't remember. I thought he was red, but I was like, wait,
He's red.
is he
Yeah,
like
and Medjern was white, but he got so they got to him. Which is also he was white, and Rayson has the white mask, so like he was like the one in charge of making sure that they got a white Dragonborn. No. So he's the one that I'm really like, whenever you get to back to Rayson, it's gonna be a really important thing for both Rokul and Mokin, because they were like buddy with Medjern, and like Rayson is the one that got their best buddy killed. In
hindsight, Rayson had the fucking jackpot. Really, he had 3.
Yeah, man, he did.
Doorstep.
He did.
He fucked up.
He was just like, like, wow.
I have a little thing. Do you guys have any more questions? Any questions that you were like, hey, I want to know this, or we move on?
Mostly like, most of the stuff I had questions for, you answered last week, because that was mainly like, what was Ooleth gonna do to me? Sad stuff was the answer.
Not so much a question, I guess, but I'm also, Kasarin's also interested in maybe trying to find a different weapon, a different sword, and not the Mongol attachment, because again, like she was telling Nicole when they had their fight, like the reason the Tempest became what she was and got so out of hand was because there was a little bit of like bloodlust. She did to some extent enjoy the murder, and she's afraid of that part of herself, and then she's been like, she only uses and part of it is she heavily ties the two, that part of her with that sword, and she's afraid to use it because this character stemmed from the idea of I want a ninja fighter that has a sword she's afraid to use, but she only uses it when it's someone of pure evil or someone she knows. It's like you deserve the Tempest versus you're someone who wrong place, wrong time, or someone who's like only mildly bad versus you're like scum of the earth.
Nicole, having now seen a little glimpse of the Tempest, he's like,
yeah,
I'm good. Like,
that hasn't come out for her in a long time, and it came out because now it's like her daughter's threatened. Like my daughter's fighting next to me, and you could hurt her. But again, it also only ever happens when she's using that sword. But she hasn't wanted to completely get rid of it because it is her tie to her father. It's the only thing of his she has. She feels closer to him by having it. But now thinking she had it so under control because it's been such a long time, and then that moment, it coming back. She's very much now like, I would like to get, before she wanted a new sword just because it's like, we're facing more powerful enemies. I think I might need more than this very beautiful, but still kind of basic sword. I need like, metagamey, a +1 weapon or something, right?
Just glamour
so,
it.
Well, this is why, like, I know Soko is low-key trying to get to find some of the artifacts of the Sun Ring.
Low-key.
I don't even need it to be an artifact.
Where's Death Song Smile?
I don't need it to be an artifact. I just want a bit of an upgrade, but also for story reasons.
The thing is, I made I made artifacts that I feel like are okay to be found now, and there's artifacts that I'm like, okay, you're not allowed to find those until like.
Yeah.
But there's one sword that I made with Kasarin in mind. Long sword.
But I don't remember what it is, and I don't think Kasarin has any
Kasarin has no idea.
Show interest in it.
If at one point
she doesn't want that because it's fire.
Yes.
Fire bad.
If at one point you guys do go for like the whole artifact thing, there's definitely some stuff out there that I designed with Kasarin in mind that I think there's the sword in particular is one that is very like elemental, whereas like it does some fire shit, it does some water shit, it's very like
in an ideal world. Before, that's why I ages ago said, what's it like to I've never played this far in D&D. It's like, what's it like to upgrade or enchant a weapon? Because like James and I were thinking it'd be really cool, also because part of her character visually was inspired by Zoro from One Piece, but then also because she's water, ice, make her sword like Brook from One Piece, where he's so fast and his sword movements are so that like they freeze people. Is like the how the in anime world anime logic, and so we were to think of some of his more like icy sword moments, and imagining if her sword could do that, and that'd be so cool. But it's expensive and takes time, and I just don't see a scenario where. But now maybe she'd be willing to part with the sword for long enough for it to happen, just because she now had that scare again, where she's like, I'm afraid of it. I want to make sure. Well, really, she's afraid of herself. The sword's just the physical representation of that. But I don't know. But I'm also like, it is such a
the way I have it done in my world is that
I don't think she'd get
enchantment is expensive, very pricey, and depending on if it's like your weapon is just a mundane weapon, like there's no magical powers to your weapon. So if you were to like want to have your current sword enchanted, you would probably have to like part with it for several months.
Yeah, I know, and I like there's now a bit of reason I could see her being willing to do it. Before there was none, but I still think that's gonna be a really hard decision. I don't know if she's ready to do that yet. It's still like it's weird. She's afraid of it, but it's also a safety blanket, and like the tie to her childhood and happier memories in life while also being like a tie to something terrible. It's a really complicated thing.
Whereas generic +1 weapons and armor, like you've seen now, as can generally be found at the Arcana Emporium for a price, but like a +1 is something that like how Cool now has like his
bracers,
whatchamacallit, that add to his strength.
Yeah.
And they also have +1 weapons. So.
If you were to like want to just purely as like an idea of what's the value of a +1 sword, a +1 sword or a +1 weapon in general would like, if it's just a +1 with no other like effects, would run you anywhere between like 800 to 1500 gold pieces depending on the weather.
Yeah, and even that I want something a bit more than that, because fighters get so many more stat improvements than everyone else. Like my strength plus proficiency now, I already get +7 to hit with my sword.
Yeah, that's because fighter is definitely a class that really
relies on their
stats. Which is also why fighters have 2 extra stat improvements / feats that they can take overall. Like,
yeah, I'm looking more maybe less for the plus like things to hit. I'm looking for things that maybe do just like a bit more or different kind of damage. The way that
I've kind of been doing it so far is just like, if you have an idea in mind for like, hey DM, I would like to see if it's possible to find a weapon that is enchanted in a way where it also does this, and then I have an idea of what you want, and then the next time you visit a store that you think has
basically, I would love something that is like I said, elemental, but particularly ice. And James, like, you know, ice is like one of the most resisted types of damage in the game. Like, I don't even care. I'm not doing it for meta. I'm doing it for flavor, story reasons. Because she wants to. Also, seeing Ryagel do all that magic shit, she's a little bit jealous as well. And she's like, I want to do cool shit other than play with water, because you can't really. There's not many combat things with that, but.
Let me see. There's
too much combat things was literally the whole reason why we could beat the fucking vampire guy.
Yeah, well, that's a one trick thing. Oh, on that note, though, with the water magic, though, because there is something, I can message you more about it later. In the novel, like the story writing, when she was really young, I definitely used her water magic in ways that is very much OP and not allowed in traditional D&D things. And one of them, she would use water. There was like, there was a barrel. There were barrels that would catch the rare rainwater in the Expanse, because they live in the desert. Water's rare, all over Huron's like property, and she would take the water in them and make like stairways of ice to sneak out of her room at night and to get out. So that's one way she might think of maybe getting back in to talk to Serana later. And I would never do that, because obviously using create water and then shape water and then freezing it to do that, it's a bit OP in most D&D scenarios. But for that, since it's not a combat thing, it's not a story like momentum, a party story thing, it's a personal thing. That might be something, just for heads up, I might try and pull next session. Let me know if that's allowed. Because the logic I had for why she doesn't do shit like that as much anymore is the major mental, like, psychotic break basically that she had in prison, and the big traumatic of recognizing who she was, what she'd done. I'm a monster, oh my god. She definitely lost a lot of her not lost, but lost touch with using her magic to the same degree that she did when she was a teenager and when she was in her 20s. And she can't use it that way. Like, the whole being able to turn her whole body into water is clearly OP, and I can't do that. But I did it as a kid because story. So it wouldn't come up in any other ways, but if not, I'll have to find some other way to sneak into his house.
Nah, like, I'm just quickly, like, browsing. Like, there are weapons out there that have, you know,
something like the name like Frostblade or some shit.
Like, I'm here, like, currently looking at a weapon called the Black Ice Blade.
That sounds cool.
This frozen longsword is frozen to the touch. Aside from the handle, the sword deals 1d8 cold damage instead of its regular slashing damage, and then you can choose to fling off a piece of the sword as a shard of magical ice that deals 1d4 cold damage and automatically hits, like kind of like a magic missile where you can just be like dum, 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 that automatically hits.
That's cool.
But the thing is, you do exclusively do frost damage. Like, you don't do your regular slashing damage anymore. So if you fight something that is resistant to
cold, yeah,
you're not going to be able to use that blade at all, because even your slashing damage is cold damage. This can instead be flung out as a bonus action. So that's a bonus action to fling those things. So where if you like use your main action to just slice at a guy, you can then use your bonus action to aim at someone else and just fucking fling off some ice shards.
That sounds cool.
The target must make a dex save of 8 plus your proficiency bonus, and your dexterity modifier, or take
That's
some
a bit
other
unfortunate. Her dex is
effects. Yeah, but also your proficiency bonus, because you're proficient with longswords, right?
Yeah.
So it would be 8 plus, what's your proficiency bonus? 3, 11
plus 2. That's still only 11.
No, 8 plus 3 plus 2 is
13,
13, which is okay. You know, it's not horrible.
But yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely, like, now that I know that you're looking for something sword-like that could do
Yeah,
something
like I said,
with
ideal
ice.
world would be to make her sword do like enchanted.
Yeah,
it's just
but like
the part with
while
it. But
you,
like you
while
said,
you wait
that's
for that
really
to be done, you're gonna have to use find something to replace that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna happen for a while because she couldn't afford it. Because she grew up surrounded by money, her relationship with money, she doesn't like hoard it. She's not worried about it. Even though it's like she knows now, she's lived pretty poorly while searching for like Rygel on the streets and shit. So it's almost like growing up in that opulence and luxury. She still doesn't see money as. She's never been that worried about it, and she still isn't, even though she hasn't had a lot in her later life. It's never been something that made her happy, and she knows money doesn't bring happiness because of all the shit that happened in her teenage childhood while still having this beautiful house and beautiful life and everything. So she gives away her money a lot. You notice, like, I'm really willing to pay for stuff for the party. I gave money to, can't remember who it was, but and then now I'm about to give, she wants to give a bunch of money to Serana to use for Rygel, even though she knows, like, you live in this, like, I'm sure you don't need it, but she still feels
something they'll need.
But it's more she feels like she wants to do some physical, tangible thing to contribute to Rygel's life, and there's not much she has or can do.
Start doing some of those side quests that I've planted around the city to get some coins. Smile.
Hey man. Nicole
that is something that I also looked at, Natty, by the way. Just
doesn't like holding onto it and just like.
Yeah.
You know, he tries.
Natty just linked something called Frostbrand, which is basically an enchantment that you can add to any type of sword, where just a sword does an extra.
That's the kind of thing I was looking for. I want to do something
frost
to
damage.
her sword. Yeah.
And while holding the sword, you also have resistance to fire damage, which is also pretty cool.
You resist to fire. That's pretty cool.
that shit.
But that would probably be the enchantment that if you turn in your sword.
That's what
I would not give you that as a replacement. That would probably be the enchantment that you get months down the line, because it's a pretty powerful enchantment. Like damage wise, maybe not so, but having that resistance to fire is pretty
benefits,
big. Is pretty big.
Sure.
Fire resistance is huge. To be fair, like
welcome to the
definitely how much fire we've seen.
Drunk Naked Unicorn, thanks for the follow. How you doing?
Nice.
I've seen around Gypsy Stream a lot, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like the putting out fire benefit, where you can just like that. That one is definitely more than just a damage buff. It also has some utility, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like I'll have a little look see. Like I want to have some stuff. Like for instance, that thing for Nicole, where he just went shopping one day and went for like, hey, I need bracers. Like I tried to like stretch that conversation just so I could be like, okay, think.
Well, no, like with like, sorry, but like it's very much
fine.
like,
That's totally fine because that's stuff that I should have prepared. To be fair, like
when it comes to like armor types that I can still wear like them, it's boots and it's braces are like the two main things, and like helmets.
Yeah, or like belts or whatever.
Like
just anything that's
like,
not armor.
Anything that's not like plate. So I was like, you know, everyone kind of gets like cool boots. I was like, fucking. No one like really thinks about braces too often, other than when it's like a massive like like gauntlets more than bracer. That's when they start thinking about it. So I was like, you know, maybe they're like I always like the idea of braces anyway, just as a thing.
Yeah, because bracers are like when designing the artifacts of the Sundering, I was also like, okay, I want there to be some stuff that I can give Actanis and Nicole that will still like add to their AC, for instance, without being armor, because
that's a big thing. So when you gave me that choice, they got one edge defense and that strength. I was like, fuck, the AC one would be really helpful, but I could get 20 strength right here, right now. I'm just like, oh, what do I want more? And like Nicole very much doesn't give a shit about defense. He's very much more of a, if I can kill shit better, he wants that. He wants
which is
wants
totally
to become
fair.
more powerful. His big thing is
for instance, one of the things that I let's see.
Yeah.
I've also designed. I like how there's also you've encountered some of the artifacts of the Sundering before without realizing that that's what they were, which is pretty funny.
Like the chromosphere.
For instance, like the gloves of the charlatan you have found, and is fucking
not in-game, but okay.
No, the fucking gnome bard that you encountered and bullied turns out
that Bran threw a rock at
has
got a really powerful
an artifact of the Sundering in his possession that you you saw.
We could have found,
and,
in theory,
which is
pretty
really fun. There's one thing that I made where there are bracers that also just give you just a fucking big boost to your AC. With that particular artifact, I definitely like homebrew created with either you or Arctanus in mind to make sure that I could still give you something that would benefit your AC without the whole barbarians can't wear armor because they get their AC from something else type of thing.
Thing is though, like I could wear, in theory, because my dex is so low, I could wear armor and kind of. Like,
they will, Natty. Like depending on where their adventure takes them. Like I'm just like I like how like I've had these artifacts hidden around the world, and it's just funny to me where they've encountered or gotten close to encountering them, but because they didn't know what they were, they thought nothing of it. Where I'm pretty sure if you would have paid attention to, like, if you would have rolled a perception check, like what is this known, like what anything strike me as odd, I would have given you like a really pretty in-depth description of what the gloves that he was wearing looked like, and at that time you didn't even know what artifacts of Sundering were, so you didn't really pay mind to it.
But I love that kind of trope in storytelling in general. Like one of my favorite moments in the whole Harry Potter series was the throwback when you realize the locket, the Slytherin locket, was a Horcrux, and that Harry had it in his hand and handled it and thrown it away in the 5th book, and it was like one throwaway sentence, but then you look back and you're like, oh, like when you get that, like you said characters encountering things before realizing their importance and the pre-planning.
You've gotten really close to another one in the other campaign. You've gotten really close to one.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's being guarded. It's being guarded by a particular gold elemental.
Of course it was. Yeah, that was such a fucking fucking gold elemental, man.
It's a fun little story time. We're doing like the off-stream campaign, and they decided to like seek shelter in an abandoned village for the night, and they found something that I really hadn't really intended for them to find or like go into and explore. But of course, one of the players, aka Soko, decided to, hey, let's explore. Smile.
Because it's always Soko.
Because it's always Soko. And he fucking found like the coffin where one of the artifacts of the Sun Ring was in, but it's being guarded by like a gold elemental, kind of like how in Aladdin, like the fucking big gold dude.
Yeah, and clearly we were not, at least we felt we were not prepared to fight it.
Oh, you absolutely weren't. You absolutely are not.
Yeah, and Soko's character was like, but guys, and basically the entire party was like, Sora, his character, Sora, no, let's leave. Both because like we knew that we were not ready for this thing, but also we were like, this is a dead person's. You are desecrating a dead person's thing right now.
I also gave you guys like a little bit of a taste of the damage that it does, because I think it punched Sora, and it did Sora. And it like knocked 75% of his health down in one hit.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that was a good warning. So I felt like that was a good warning of like, listen, this thing is gonna eat your ass, and spoiler alert, it's not gonna taste like mint. It's gonna taste fucking horrible.
And like literally myself and Dobson and a bunch of the party members straight up ditched him. We're like, Sora, we're leaving. Fucking let's go. And like we left the tomb, and we're like, you fight this thing, you're doing it on your own. Sora, don't be an idiot. And like,
spoiler alerts.
Whose D&D character would be an idiot? Smile.
Now the thing about Sora is Sora was just too greedy for his own good. Really.
Yeah.
He would be too greedy.
So all the shit we're bugging Nicole about was like that on steroids with Sora.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
didn't know when to just like.
Hey, you don't know me. I might just be, like real talk. Nicole is gonna share that platinum. He just has other uses for it first.
Yeah. So whenever he has left, he'll share with the party.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I figured as well.
Left, not an even split. But
it's an even split to what the party thinks he found.
Yeah, exactly.
But inside checking, that's metagaming. Smile. No.
Yeah.
No. Like that's the thing about this talk show. Is like, we're gonna talk about things that in character you don't know, but like I know that you guys, metagaming is not something I worry about with you guys too much. And if it happens, I just nip it in the bud when it happens. Like, you don't know. Stop.
Well, it's like when we with us many times where we've said something like, wait, did that get said? It didn't. Never mind.
My favorite
rewind
moment,
2 sentences.
Well, that's like my favorite moment when I think it was Traveris,
it was
Hanzo saying the whole, because he didn't realize that Kisaren hadn't heard the whole "she has your eyes" comment, so she had no idea that Raigel and the cult are even related.
Yeah.
So I had to be like, excuse me, why is this the first time hearing about this? And Hanzo's like, what do you mean you knew?
And then but the hand didn't know either. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
That Travis didn't know. He was like, wasn't we in the room? It's like, no, it's literally me.
Yeah.
Nakul and Mashim. Those you guys were the only ones that were able to hear.
Yeah, we were like, guys, what's happening?
Like, that's the way I should like.
But I feel
imagine,
like metagaming wise, we haven't really had a lot of metagaming in our campaign
We've
so
like
far.
memed metagames, like, but when it's like unimportant shit, we've like memed.
Well, I like to do the thing where it's like things are happening, and just because I have a hard time, I think part of it too, when you're, because all of us are streamers, and when you're a streamer, you kind of train yourself in the habit so that there's content to like be just speaking your inner monologue and kind of be saying your reactions, your thoughts, and so a lot of times I'll like interject, and people be like, "You're not there." I'm like, I'm not saying it as Kisaren or Laura trying to influence opinion. I'm saying it just as a reaction.
Which is why it's good. Which is why it's good to have a distinctive voice change when you voice a character and when you voice yourself.
I'm not a voice actor. I can't do these things.
But for instance, when Hanzo or Soko, fucking names, or Belle says something like out of nowhere, I know exactly that it's Belle talking or it's Octanus talking because they have like an accent they put up, you know? Whereas with you, Kisaren sounds like Laura sounds like Kisaren.
I can't do the only accent I can do and maintain.
You get a little
LauraK
more,
already has.
Which is why you get a little more like metagaming, because with you it's a lot harder to determine. Wait, is this Kisaren?
Like 9 times out of 10, I can usually tell when it's Laura and when it's Kisaren, just because.
Yeah. But like
I think there's also slight voice changes that like.
Yeah, definitely, but like
nuanced. But
with the other characters, it's a little more apparent when it's like, okay, this is Octanus talking. So whenever Belle says something out of character, I'm like, okay, that's fine. This is Belle talking, not Octanus, so whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
The only accent I can do is the ones LauraK has. So we already have that. I can only do like Southern redneck because of my mom's family from Tennessee. That's all I got, and that did not fit Kisaren at all. So, and then like other subtle things like trying to change the pitch of my voice or things because of my scratched vocal cords, it's really hard. I can't actually do a lot with my voice. Can't you just
like fucking put up the most Canadian accents you can fucking fathom?
No, because I hate that. Oh, it makes me so bad.
Make Kisaren the most Canadian motherfucker out there.
No. I hate the over-the-top Canadian accent.
We go bring you back to your parents, eh?
my problem is because like that accent exists, but it's not a Canadian accent. It's a Newfie accent. It's one small part of Canada. It is one part of Canada that's like the size of the UK, whereas all of Canada is like 5 Europes. So it's not a Canadian accent, okay? It's a Newfie accent. That's specific.
5 Europes, by the way.
And it was here that this stream managed to Laura.
What's up,
7 hours later, and that is the difference in the accent.
Hashtag just say it.
No, but yeah, so that's why whenever you say something, it's always like, wait, is this Laura or is this Kisaren? Whereas with most of the others, it's a little easier to like split those two apart because there's a clear distinction between.
If I'm ever talking when Kisaren's not there, it is just my inability to stop my thoughts. It's not because I'm trying to influence players' actions or thinking that Kisaren should have an opinion. It's literally just me. Like, so now what I try to do is I say it, but I'll be like, I'm just like sitting there talking, but not adding actual vocalization behind it. So
but I feel overall, metagaming.
Game's
not a thing that happens a whole lot. I
just like afterwards when people get mad at me for the shit I
do. With that said, is there anything else? Any questions? Anything? Concerns? Comments? Remarks? Anything?
Good job. I'm fucking scared and terrified of what the fuck is gonna happen with Nicole.
Yeah. I am both scared and excited to get some resolution with Raigel and then see you. And also scared because it's like she put so much of her whole life and self now into finding her and then being a better person for her. It's kind of like, now what? Fuck.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot more shit to come.
I think she's the fact that the cult is such a present problem is going to be great because it gives her something new to throw herself into now that it's not find kid. And then the overarching thing is try and do enough good in the world to balance out all the bad.
I'm just really excited because there's two things. I think I already know. Like right now, I'm gonna give you guys like a few sessions to just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, are you gonna go look for artifacts? Cool, let's see where that goes. Are you gonna go just, explore this like new base that you have and do some side questing around the city? Fuck yeah, dude, go for it. Are you gonna follow up that little link you have now towards Lord Regent or the Empress with that coin that you have to return and see where that leads you? Like, there's a couple of like things out there that you can do now that don't really require any heavy backstory. They don't require the cult. Like, it's definitely there's definitely
probably gonna have a big like group discussion of like
exactly, like what do you guys want to do? And then the next big story arc that I intend on doing, I think, is NaRonk. That's
cool.
The one that I've fleshed out the most at this point.
That's the one.
And I already have a guest ready to come in to play whenever you get to a certain place.
I also need to figure out then.
Feel
free to send me anything Dutch about, because we early on, just as he came up, and one of the features of my background was that criminal contact history relationship, and we decided Elevantier was her criminal contact, and Cassandra and NaRonk have already had beef, and being like, he's my friend, I know him, and NaRonk being very possessive.
Which is exciting, because
and being like, no, you don't.
NaRonk's backstory is going to have involve a lot of Elevantier. You're gonna figure out a lot about.
Yeah. So if there's anything that I should know,
because Elevantier has been really has purposely left out most of that to you because it's not something he wants to share.
Cool.
But yeah, and I already have a guest like Carly's gonna guest a character that has something to do, not necessarily with Soko's backstory, but with the place where NaRonk is from.
I'm gonna be so excited because especially in the other campaign, he just lives to give Sora shit. Althea's like the most disapproving mom of Sora ever. So I would love to see her play something else and interact with Soko in a different
that's
way.
definitely going to be the next like big arc that I have like planned and worked on. And until then, I intend for like the next like 5, maybe 6 sessions to be like a little bit of an arc that you guys set up yourself. Like, okay, hey, what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do now?
Last time you gave us a session to do what we wanted.
No, but that was just like a full on like, hey, let's get drunk and do nothing. Right. This is like, okay, we have some leads that can lead to several things.
Yeah.
Which one do we follow? Whereas like I've given you the starting point to several things, and now you guys have to decide, okay, which one are we going to do now?
Like, this is why I'm glad we got 2 weeks, because this gives me a chance to think about what Nicole actually wants now and what I want to do as a player and what like.
Which also makes it a little easier for me as a DM, because I can just like, as long as I have the beginning of each prepared,
of each one,
I then can just wait and see what you guys decide to do, and then knowing that, okay, you are going to chase leads for the Artifact of the Sun Ring is when I know, like, okay, so you're going to do that, you decided that, cool, now I can start branching out that arc.
Yeah.
You know? And leave the other 2-3 arcs that I also have prepared for you on the back burner, like, okay, we'll get to that whenever. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting to have a little,
I'm really
little bit of a less intense arc and more of a less intense, more of just this arc is going to be used to either make more money, find some cool new weapons to strengthen ourselves, instead of just diving into the deep end right away with a heavy backstory or whatever.
Like I say, it's gonna be a bit of a party arc rather than a.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be more of like a
I ain't looking forward to the conversation.
Do some good old mercenarying, pretty much. Where hey, the side quests. Who wants to hire some hired muscle? Or
any mountains around for me to guide on? Smile. No.
No, but like proper because there's several there's quests planted throughout the city. You're in the capital city of the Expanse. There's bound to be someone out there that needs help with something.
Oh yeah.
You have that coin.
Yeah.
That if you turn it into like the Empress herself has a Lord Regent in place in the Expanse, who the way the political system is built in the world is each province has a Lord Regent. Those Lord Regents have meetings at set times throughout the year, and whatever comes out of that meeting they take to the Empress, and she just says yes or no. towards whatever proposals they have made. So typically, to get into contact with the Empress, you're gonna have to go through one of the Lord Regents first. The only reason that didn't happen in the off-stream campaign was because there was like a state of emergency where, okay, well, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna get you there right away. But I was like, you now have this coin that if you would give to, you know, the Lord Regent or a spokesperson of the Lord Regent, whatever, will put you on their radar and be like, hey, that's a group of capable mercenaries, which can lead into a whole bunch of like cool, less important but still really cool, quest lines, if you will, you know, setting a name for yourselves as more of like just an adventuring party slash group of mercenaries, you know, that you can pay to solve things for you.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that. I don't want my name to anyone to know my name.
You mean rather than the quote from Alavanta, this bag of misfits of people doesn't look like they should be together, but
and I also really, I like how, because you are already on, you know, some people's radar when it comes to governmenting, because you know, you have this base of operations where no one is supposed to know what it is, but yeah, there's a handful of people that had to like make sure that it's, you know, it was allowed, including Kissaran. So there's definitely some government officials that know, wait, that's a Tempest, hold up, you know.
We're going on a bribing spree. Let's go, boys.
No. You'll find that there's been some powerful people that put in a really good word for you to make sure that those particular government officials were like, all right, to keep a close eye on her.
Because I think it's also she's been out of prison for so long and hasn't racked up a body count that there might be people. Like, she might be able to just now start selling the narrative of, like, I've changed, and people might not jump down her throat and look at it, because...
Which, in that case, it might be a good thing to do some side questing where you can be, and not hide yourself as Julia, and be like, hey, listen, this is the good I've done since I'm now Geo. And it also helps that you have some powerful people that are on your side. You have an Archmage Brass Band that is aware of you and your past, and the good you're doing right now. You have, some people within Kaldalar's Hunters that are like, she is good, she's helping the greater good.
There's a problem with that. Nicole doesn't trust the Kaldalar Hunters.
Yeah.
I mean, neither do Rokul and Mokin anymore.
Like, very much like, Kaldalar Hunter's cool, and Nicole's like, no they're not, they're not about that.
Yeah, but so there's just a lot of potential things that you can do to help yourself in that aspect, especially as Kissaran. Like, what most of the party will be like, oh, we're gonna just make some money or get a little bit of a reputation out there. Like, hey, we're pretty capable adventurers. We can make money that way.
Yeah, me, it's
but
whatever
makes. For Kissaran, it's something that can really benefit her if it ever comes to play. That there's going to be like a court case or whatever, and like, listen, this is the good that I've done. This is the good that I've done since.
We almost had that have to happen, but I wouldn't have anything to use. I mean, when the first time we went to Kalzir, if I failed a persuasion roll, it would.
The thing is, you still don't really, because the amount of good that you have like evidence of having done is still nothing compared to the amount of shit that you've done as the Tempest.
I could be like, we're stopping a cult that might summon a god. Like, the word apocalypse is thrown around by Matrim. So like, we're stopping an apocalypse. Come on.
Who knows of this?
I don't know.
Not many.
A Brass Band, Archmage Idoras. Those are the only two like governmental types that you know about this shit.
Oh yeah, like
the only thing I can say is I've been out for this long and you haven't found any more bodies for me. Like, I haven't done anything.
Which I wouldn't advise on using in court as an actual thing.
I know.
I'll say Dutch and the other half of people who do know about it are part of a cult. As a man.
Yeah, exactly.
This is evil drunk. I was like, no, there's not.
Yeah,
or the only thing I could think is maybe be like, look, I went and, but then again, it's self-motivating. So like Serana could be like, she found because there's no record also of her having a kid in prison. I'm sure they're not.
Look, I saved a child.
Yeah, I'm like, I saved a kid. They're like, yeah, for your mom. Like, it's still self-serving. They might not see that as much. But my mom also turned me in. Clearly, like, there's no love lost there. Like, come on. It's fine.
The thing is, I am excited to get to that at some point, because you're gonna get a lot of help out of angles that you might not initially expected to get help out of, which is gonna be cool. But that said, next session is gonna definitely be like the closing session of this like chapter of the fourth like actual like arc of the campaign.
I'm both really excited and really sad.
And then after that, I am going to let you guys as a group decide, like, okay, we have like these 3 to 4 leads that we could follow.
So there's gonna be some
do?
big conversations coming up in the pie that like are gonna be pretty cool. There's some that are coming up that Nicole isn't a fan of because he knows people are gonna be like, okay, let's have a chat, and he's like, no, I'm good. I like the toxic masculinity we have between Brian.
Bro, there's like something on your wall, Koiba, to your right, and I thought it was a spot on my screen, but I think it's actually something on your wall, like the black little dot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a black dot there.
Yeah, but I started to rub my monitor because I was like, is there a stain on my monitor? But it's not.
No, that's I don't fucking know that's right. Where I just bashed into the wall and it just chipped away, and then I've like tried to
okay.
or something.
I was just like, wait, what the fuck is that? But it wasn't something.
You said
on my
that
screen.
as like a moth.
I was worried it was like a
me,
spider
so
or something. I was like,
no, you said that as like a moth like flew above me, so I was like, is it the fucking moth?
All right. With that said, I don't really have anything more to say really about last sesh. I'm just excited to see what comes next, how you guys finish up this arc, and then what you guys decide, like, what are you going to chase after next when there's a little more breathing room, if you will.
Yeah. Like I said,
so
with these
we're not having one this Sunday, the 14th,
No,
because
I'll be at TwitchCon, and so will Hanzo, and so will Soko. So will Soko.
Yeah.
Okay, so deleting that from my calendar. The next one is the 21st, which
Is
I
Easter,
might,
but I'm available.
that's it. I might petition Easter if we could do it maybe a little earlier. Like, it'd just be me and so I'm willing to get up early to do that earlier for you guys, just because in the evening I'll probably have to go to a family dinner of some kind. We haven't solidified our Easter plans
like
yet,
Duke will be
but,
here. So like I have like no class that entire week. So like I can do whatever.
Yeah, because like normally we start at 2 p.m. my time. If we started at like 11 a.m. or like noon, we could have a full session without me making you guys rush, and then I could go to dinner.
Gonna fart in the mic while Dutch DMs.
Dude, gross.
Speak of the devil. Hey man, how about we just bring Lausanne back while you're here? Smile. No.
Hey.
No. Yeah.
Just make him do some of the voices for your NPCs, so you get a rest while DMing.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, make Duke be some NPCs.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe because like we'll have while Duke's here, we'll have 2 Dungeon Select sessions where Duke is just gonna have to like sit here and watch, and I just do my DM thing because he'll be here 2 weeks. So yeah. Can't wait to, just have Duke voice some NPCs. That'd be fucking lit.
just Duke doing. Like,
that'd be fucking hilarious.
He'd make one NPC talk like James, and we'd all lose our shit laughing.
That's actually that's a really good idea. Actually, to have Duke do some NPC voices.
Yeah, it'd be so funny.
That'd be funny. Yeah, that's something to like fuck with. Yeah. Why
You can bring back the "we all have a good time"
We
guy
all have
as
good
a full
time.
NPC.
Just channel that one line into an entire
That one line
dedicated to
into
an
a
NPC.
just the drunk guy at a bar.
Yeah, that's a fun idea. Yeah, I'm just like excited to see like you guys take the lead on
I'm happy that
what
there's so
lead
many
to chase.
lines that you've like set up for us. Like, there's so much shit you've got kind of like.
Yeah.
Hey man, then like this weekend I'm not gonna get to a lot of writing, but next week I'm definitely gonna like take a couple of hours to just like sit here and fucking type away because there's a lot of shit that I have to prepare for. Yeah, like the ideas are there. I just gotta. Yeah, like no, the thing is like I have a lot of ideas. I just gotta make sure that I put them all on paper.
Yeah.
And see which lead you end up chasing. You know.
Very interesting to see.
Yeah, because I know what Naronk wants.
Well, yeah, I know.
But it's gonna be interesting to see how that like translates to the party.
I mean, like that's gonna be a conversation that Nicole and I are definitely gonna have, just like because Nicole needs.
And I mean, Kisaren would be like, "I'll help you get your gun if you help me get the cool sword." Like I'm fucking.
Yeah, and like Hanzo, Tramaris has like his little pact with the devil that he needs to kind of do as well. You know, like there's a
map piece and
there's an item.
Find that map piece.
No, he's not. No. The pact is about finding an artifact of Sun Ring, but for his patron.
Yeah.
I can only go well for Tramaris, by the way. Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Nothing. When did ever something like that go wrong? Hey guys, we just found this Raiders of the Lost Ark style. We just found this ark, boys. Let's open it.
Like the thing is, he because he has like he made a pact with his patron. If the patron is like, listen, you're taking too long, he can send some real subtle, painful reminders like, hey, you're supposed to do a thing for me. I did a thing for you. It's time to pay up, motherfucker. So that's gonna be like he essentially has like the D&D equivalent of the black spots on his hand.
Yep.
You know, like so. Whenever his patron starts to get really impatient.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like some priest is gonna notice. Like he's like, yeah, that's dodgy.
So there's a lot of cool. Like there's like 3 or 4 things that you guys can chase after you close out this arc.
Yep.
And that's gonna be fucking awesome. And with that said, I don't really have a lot more to say unless there's some more stuff that you guys have to add to.
Nothing burning.
I think this has been Dungeon Discourse for this week. And there's no Dungeon Discourse next week because there's no Dungeon Select this weekend. Dungeon Discourse of last week went up a little late on YouTube because exams. Apologize, but it's up now. And Dungeon Select will be up. I think it's scheduled for tomorrow evening. I'm pretty sure. So you know, make sure you got 2 weeks to catch up and get to be able to catch it live the 21st. And we'll be back.
Yeah.
And next week there's gonna be a lot of streams where I have a SetoKoiba sitting next to me. A lot of co-op streams where we do just a bunch of random shit. I think there's talk about Duke trying to teach me Dota on stream.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Interesting.
Yes.
We gotta pick up our beloved co-op playthrough, or like couch co-op playthrough of Oblivion. Duke wants to play Sekiro, which is going to be fun as well.
I want to watch those streams. That's gonna be hysterical.
So yeah, there's gonna be like Duke's gonna be here for 2 weeks, so there's gonna be a lot of fucking streams with Duke. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting.
Good time.
And we all make good time. Fuck. Whereas this week, there might not be streams until after TwitchCon, to be honest with you. I might do a cheeky stream with Soko tomorrow, like evening. Natty will also be here though, so it's gonna be something like, if we do end up streaming, it's gonna be really fucking random and thrown together.
Yeah, good me.
Maybe I'll just have Natty and Soko do some streaming while I finish up my last assignments for college.
Stream for me, go on.
But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I am going to. Do you guys have any announcements you guys want to make streaming wise for your own channels?
No, I'm probably gonna be streaming some games as it is.
I don't think so. Cross your fingers. I'm gonna try streaming Fable again tomorrow. Cross your fingers it doesn't kill my computer.
Oops. Yeah, that went great.
Yeah,
but like the thing is, like, you've been able to play like Overwatch and shit like since then, so you should be fine. Like theoretically, you should be fine.
I should have been fine to
did
play
your RAM, like,
Fable
did your RAM arrive today? And
yeah, it's already in the computer,
there you go,
and I've tested it and done the check, like this computer's reading it and seeing the right amount of RAM. And
me and Soko co-op stream in one place. Yeah, I know, right, Natty? Man, dreams do exist. Like dreams do come true.
Dreams exist.
Oh, do we host up Belle? She's still alive. She's playing The Witcher.
Yeah.
Speaking of The Witcher 3, the beautiful background music that you've been listening to is all taken from The Witcher 3, and we have permission granted to us by CD Projekt. Oh, she's about to end. Fuck! She just ended. Fuck! God damn it.
How about
Alicia's live.
So Sakame, Alicia playing Final Fantasy 14. You could be like, yeah.
Good meme.
Yeah, Somniloquy.
Sommy boy.
That's Som.
Yeah. I don't really get a chance to host Som that much, so yeah, fuck it. Why the frick not, dude?
Frickly frack.
Gonna give him a cheeky little host, and then keep an eye out on Twitter and stuff, because like during TwitchCon, there's gonna be a lot of random tweets and shenanigans and pictures and all that from the cool shit that we get up to over there.
I'm so jealous.
I think Friday evening we're gonna have like a meetup with Redweird, Craven, Cyrex.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun!
Just a bunch of level select peeps, and we're gonna go for a beer in Berlin the Friday evening, so that's gonna be exciting.
Yo, I'm mad. I wanna go.
Then Saturday and Sunday, you know, from the event itself, it's gonna be just so much shit. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Like regularly scheduled streams will return
at some point
next week after TwitchCon. I'll try to just do random streams like when I can, but next week is definitely gonna be like the return. Hanzo and you have check in between. Me and Soko already checked in. Like I checked in online, so as long as I get there before 7 p.m. I'm good. So yeah, like we're good. We're good on that front. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. This will be on YouTube somewhere this weekend, I think, like, or maybe early next week. We'll see. And yeah. We'll see you soon. Smile. On the next episode of Dungeon Select, Dungeon Discourse, or just a random fucking stream. I'm gonna host up some. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Koiba, for being here and having a chat with me about D&D and stuff.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, dude.
And
good one.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Bye.